It's January 4th, brand new year. So I don't know how many of y'all took off the last 2 weeks or took off the last 7 days, but I know how this business works, okay? So I know how money works and how it flows. But at the beginning of any year, you should be excited. You should be willing to work. You should have goals. You should be thinking about your future. You should be thinking about what you can do in the next 12 months. That's typically how it works. So we are definitely excited. And as you can see, we're literally growing out of his office, Mr. Giordano. We're growing out of his office. So we have a problem here. We're going to fix it, though. We got to get new space. But I'd love to kind of go through some things that are happening now. We're going to go through some of the leaderboard stuff that we finished the year with. A lot of people had record-breaking Decembers. So that's great. Family First Life is growing. The goals are bigger and better every year. We are now into the 8th year being in business. Wow, we just finished 7, I think, right? Is that legit? Yeah, that was the 7th year. So we are now in the 8th year being in business. And, kudos to Integrity Marketing Group, changed the game for us completely. I want to say, really gave us the juice to explode at this rate. So what you're seeing in different parts of the country and here is, it's really starting to get crazy, which is good. But we're going to go through some of these issue paid leaderboards. We'll go with top 20 for the week. Is this for the week?
Yep.
Holy cow.
Monster number.
Right. Yeah, so number 20, Len DG, 8,412. 19, Stephen Plur, 8,800 for the week. So this is what can happen in a week if you go to work. Taylor Gomez, 8,986. Great job. India Thomas, 9,203. 16, coming in at 16, Siaman Gadari, 9,300. Andy Garcia, number 15, great work, 9,962. He just hit sales manager for the month. Give him a round of applause for hitting sales manager. Keith McCrary, number 14, 10,997. Matthew Borsch, who's killing it. I mean, I don't see a month where he's less than 40 grand. Love to see that money going to an agency, Matt. Working on it. 11,177. Wayne Carr just hit senior vice president for the month. Give him a round of applause. 11,884. Steph Cover, 11,996. Rob Richmond, number 10, 12,049. It's getting good when Rob Richmond's number 10 because he's usually top 3. And that means his agency's growing, exploding. Number 9, Kyrie Joyner, 13,732 paid for the week. Lisa Wallace, 15,335 paid. Stephen G, number 7. It's getting real. Steve's only number 7. 17,137 paid for the week. Danielle B, 20,686. Coming in number 5, David Pyle, 21,562. He hit VP before. He's right there. He's gunning this last week for SVP close. Jeffrey Leone, 21,931. Number 3, Mo Ray came out of nowhere. Going to issue 100 grand this month. 25,487 for the week. Number 2, Pamela Turner, 35,964. Number 1, the semi-automatic weapon, Jonathan Porcina, 38,590 for the week. This dude is silly. I mean, these are video game numbers. What JP's doing every week, he's issuing 35 grand a week. Pretty strong. Agency volumes, we'll read sales manager above, Frank D, 61,000, do 4 weeks in December. Jeff Beathy, he'll be in this week, coming in Thursday. He's going to do some podcasts with us. He'll also do some training for people out of here. 61,615, and he's a machine. Carlos Reynoso, FL Wisdom, Strength, and Beauty, 64,925. Alex Labrija, FL Third Coast, 64,264. FL Insured Trust, Steph Cover, 66,716. Mike Lower, pay it forward, 78,911. Jesse Parley, FL Avenues, 84,831. Gabriel Singh, FL The Way, 103,838. Mark Tiroli, a first-time senior sales manager. Give him a round of applause. 120,455. Great work. Jose Graxarena, trying to hit VP for the very first time. 121,754. FFL Momentum. Kyrie Joyner, FL Humble Beginners, 126,635. Cindy Siddick, Service for Herself, 127,382. Caleb Ambrose, FL 320, 188,868. Jonathan Porcina, FFO Loyalty, 195,698. Dave Powell, Great Lakes, 221,107. Steve Giordano, FFO Health and Wealth, 257,771. Wayne Carr, again, first time at senior vice president, 300,000. He was very excited. Congratulations, buddy. Rob Richmond, FL Apex, 519197. Brian Mendenhall, FL Central, 700,448. And number one, Ivan Bedroff, FL Universe, 1257. They're having a record-breaking month. Going to be over 1.5, their best month ever. So a lot of good stuff. This was our best month, December, ever. We're growing and trying to continue to grow. And that comes down to the people that we empower. At the end of the day, it's never going to be about any one or two people. So if you're building an agency and you're there, it might start with one or two people. It might start with one or two leaders, Brett. But if it doesn't get to 10, 20, 50, it won't grow. Does that make sense? Those leaders don't have to all be direct. They can be all inside your group, but people have to literally raise their hand and say, I want it. And that's bound. First time writers for the week. Nia M, congratulations. Lucas N, Majid P, A deleted A, Jesus G, Ty C, DeAndre S, Monte W, Chris W, Cody M, Lord G. Congrats to Lord Giordano for her first policy submitted. Steve Giordano's mother, ladies and gentlemen. This woman only births royalty. Anna J, Kimberly J, Lance H, Alex J, Yasmin D, Nicole C, Teresa Y, Percy R. Congratulations for all the first-time agents that wrote business. And we have a decent amount of people who have done very well in 2020 here, so I don't want to take the platform. I'm going to actually be happy to give it out, but we're going to go through these numbers. And then you had a question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
All right.
I want to answer it here, just so it's
right.
about in home, right?
It's live.
Yeah, it's live. It's streaming. Yeah. Later. Okay, cool. Ha! Good. See, that's smart right there. Is this live? Yes. Okay. No, not now. Well, that's later. And maybe it wasn't about at home. Maybe it was about something else. I mean, God forbid. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is, what I'd like to do is bring up Brittany. Brittany, why don't you come on up? Brittany, if you can talk to everyone about 2020, your 2021 goals, what you're seeing with the company. You've been here, you've Hall of Famed it, you know what I'm saying, and then where it's going for FL Abundance in 2021.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Happy to see you guys all. 2020, I really did not have the greatest personal production year, so full accountability, I wasn't where I wanted to be. I did a little bit under 300,000 and so I actually declined in personal production, not where I wanted to be. Going forward, 2021, I'm really more excited about building an agency, building a team, pouring a lot more money, time, attention into doing so. So Mark, I think, we're right at the VP issue paid production mark right now. By March, we definitely want to double, so get to 300,000.
Nice.
And then, every single one of the leaders that I work with, they're all gunning and looking for that integrity partnership.
Right.
So we're not trying to waste any time. I've been here for 3 years, and I feel like I've kind of been pretty casual with it. And I look around, and I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a lion at heart, so I should be going out there every single day, whether it's recruiting agents, helping people protect their families. I should be going at it every single day. Like I'm trying to kill something and bring it home. You know what I mean? So with what we've seen with, there's some amazing leadership at Family First Life in general. So like if you look at Dave Witchard, you look at Alondra and Josh, like what they're doing, they're exploding. And so I'm taking things, guys, from every single agency, all the partners that we have here. I'm picking things and learning things from everybody, and I'm applying that to my business. But the key thing is that not just learning it, but actually applying and executing that, So
100%.
that's where.
Well, why don't we do this? What do you think is going to be the catalyst for you in 2021?
We got to hire a lot more agents.
Okay, so what does that look like? Because you got people in here that are thinking the same thing, right? What does that look like in real time? How do you plan on accomplishing that?
I think on average right now, we're probably contracting less than 10 people a week,
Okay.
Mark. That's probably a little overzealous. So we need to be contracting, I don't know, 30 people a week to start,
Easy.
you know?
As an agency.
As an agency.
Okay.
Getting on a lot more recruiting platforms. That's something that I have started doing as of like December.
Mhm.
Spending more money and time on recruiting, but also maintaining that 30, 40K, 50K pace every single month.
Issue paid personally.
Issue paid personally, because one thing is I want to make sure that I have enough money, guys, to invest back into my leaders.
Mhm.
You know, it's not just so I can buy things, you know, because we can all buy things eventually, but you know, I'm going to be selling insurance forever, you know, until I'm 70 years old if I don't get it together right now.
Which should be a fear, right? Like,
Right.
This is fair, right? So who wants to sell insurance for the rest of their lives? Raise your hands, show of hands. It's a catalyst. And the greatest thing is like back in the day, it was a business plan and a bank loan. But business plans don't get you bank loans anymore. And banks don't lend money. You know
On
what I mean?
ideas.
On ideas. Now they want fruit. They want to see what's the P&L look like. What it look like in 2020. What it look like in 2019. We don't need that. Why? We have leads. We have
And
leads.
speaking of, Mark, how are we going to get there aside from putting money into it, time, you know, constantly focusing on recruiting every day? Because when you, like, okay, show of hands, whose goal is to hit Hall of Fame for 2021 in here? Laura?
I'd like to.
Okay, there, Akil. Okay, so do you guys know what you need to hit every month to do that? $33,334 of issue paid production per month. Okay, some months are going to be a little higher, some months are going to be maybe a little bit less, but that is the pace. Okay, so if you're focused on it, when you focus on that, John, you're going to hit it, right? Because I heard you on the training call this morning, and you basically doubled your production from 2019 to 2020 in a pandemic. And if you focus on your hitting Hall of Fame in 2021, you're going to do it. Why? Because you're focused on it. So same thing I realized with building and growing an agency. It's like I said I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. We had the same, bless Mark. Like, I don't know how many times we've had the same conversation, but I'm finally, like, the light went off and I'm finally here. You know, so if I focus on it and I'm doing those activities toward it, and that's what's driving me every single day, I'm going to get there. But then the question is, who am I bringing with me?
Correct.
And I'm looking at these guys that I want to bring with me.
Nice.
You know?
That's awesome. And we were talking about this earlier in the staff meeting. It's like, whatever you focus on expands. Facts. The reason your agency's not where you want it to be, you haven't focused on it. Your mission. But if you focus on it, dude, it's not rockets. It's not like we're sending people to Mars. No one's getting in a ship to NASA going to Mars. We're not trying to figure out how to keep oxygen in our lungs going that far in outer space. This is simply building blocks that go into place. Dude, anyone can set up these building blocks. After a while, you want to get someone recruiting along with you. You have to pay them. Costs money to pay a recruiter. After a while. Initially, like I was telling you earlier, let's go on social media, start talking to your friends. Let's start telling them what you're doing. Let's start being a marketing machine. Talk. You follow? Talk. Because they don't know what you're doing. And they don't know that they can do it too. And they don't know it's this, you're 25 years old. They don't know it's this lucrative. They don't know it's this, there's that much potential. They don't know we work on leads. First time I heard about insurance, it was blood and urine and sell all your friends and family. I'm out. I was out at blood and urine, and then you talking to some of my friends and family. I'm definitely out because they're broke. We have no money. Like, what am I selling them? What am I selling? I'm the guy at the barbecue selling life insurance who no one wants to talk to. And I can't even get a burger. Why are we doing this? I like leads. Does that make sense? It's scalable. I can literally buy leads and scale. Make sense? But whatever you focus on expands. And it's definitely going to expand because you're focused on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all and it's by empowering people, bringing them with you. So anyone have any questions for Brittany? She's a dialing machine. She understands in-home. She understands clients. She understands working with people. I would have questions. Anyone have any questions they want to ask her about anything? And then we'll bring up someone else.
To hit 10 grand a week, how many appointments do you do?
25 to 30.
Try on the board.
Yeah.
example. Yeah, Andy, right?
Andy, 25, he's close to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So, and I'll have John Mazzola go over this in a second, but yeah, the reason why we put this up every week is because this is the truth serum. This is where you can't run, you can't hide. Did you work? Did you not work? This is gonna show you what happened. Now, not every week's the same. It's easier to look at this as a month than a week, but the week tells you a lot. You know what I'm saying? A month's gonna tell you way more because it's 4 weeks, and anyone can have an unbelievable week or anyone can have a bad week. And this is more about understanding. You'll see guys that do this, it's about the same every week. 25, 30, it's about the same every week. I was big on running 100 appointments a month. If I can get to 120, I would. So 120 to 100 to 120 appointments a month. Because that works.
And if you don't hit your goal by Saturday, you were in the field on Sunday,
That's
right?
it, 100%.
Door knocking.
I ran plenty Sundays. Sunday's the
Same-day
most peaceful day to run. There's no traffic. And people are very calm. They're buyers on Sunday. Now, again, to each his own. If it was me, I was broke, I needed money, I ran 5 days a week. And I sucked at the sale part of it. I wasn't good at it. So I had to learn how to get good at it. How did I get good at it?
Practice.
30 appointments. 30, 30, 30, 30. Why is he right $1 million this year? $1.3 million.
Because he is out there doing it every day.
That's it. 100%.
Every day.
You know, when I was at Steve's house, Steve's passed out when he's not working. Like, he should never sleep. Like, knock it off. He's writing $1 million a year. And when he's not in work mode on a Sunday afternoon, dude,
He's out.
like a light. And did I bother him? No. I was asleep next to him. But you got, like, at the end of the day, dude, like, it's a lot of torque to put that, like, so you got to figure out what you want to do. If you're in debt, you got to make goals for yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Who are you looking to help? You know, some people have responsibilities with mom or spouses or children. It's just, where are you in life? What are you looking for? That's how much you should be running. Make sense? And if it's not, if you want to build a business, the more capital you have, the better.
I try to tell your story a lot, but then I still sometimes feel like I mess it up. How much credit card debt and debt did you come here with
150 grand,
and paid it off in how many months?
15 months.
Wow.
But I had it for 6 years. So be clear, I made dumb money decisions year after year after year. And then I started getting smart because I couldn't go 400 grand in debt, right? So at some point it stopped, right? But I made a lot of dumb decisions. Where are you getting 150 grand from? Where? Someone explain. Life insurance. That's the only way. And once I found it, it was like, okay, cool. But it was Family First Life, the high contract. So I started at 55 at another company and couldn't get out of the debt. I didn't pay an ounce of it off. As soon as we started Family First Life, I started being able to pay my staff, pay the office, pay for leads, pay to travel, and pay my personal bills and pay debt. Why? Contracts. And I could work 30 appointments a week, no problem. And I was very focused on it whilst we're building a team every day. Right? So give a round of applause. Thank you very much. Come on up, buddy. Run through these numbers for us. And then I want to bring up Nick. I want you to go over some phone training stuff for some of the new people. Appreciate you, buddy.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, John?
Well, first off, Nick, congratulations. Hall of Fame. So there's a few different avenues I want to go. Before I get to the numbers, yeah, the goal is to make a lot of money. But before you think that big as far as 400, you got to start small. For a lot of the newer agents, they want to come out running, gun blazing. I get it. But it's day by day, week by week, month by month. It's that simple. I mean, get to your office on Monday, worry about making your 10, 15 appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday, do it again Thursday for the weekend. And if you're running these numbers every week, I guarantee you're at Hall of Fame. There's so much talent in this room, let alone coast to coast, border to border. There's talent everywhere in this country. There are people killing it from all avenues. So by getting to the office every Monday, Nick, Hall of Fame, Britt, I mean, there's so much talent in this room. Every single one of them is going to give you 5, 10, 30 minutes. That's where you're going to get your bulk of your information. So again, my advice is get to the office on Mondays. You're gonna learn a lot. You may not get 30 appointments for that week, but when you go back there the next week, you're gonna know a lot more than you did the week before. And if you just break it down in increments, before you know it, it's the end of the month and you got your numbers in. So speaking of numbers, Carlos sat with 3 people, 2 sits, actually 3 appointments, 2 sits, 2 closes, nice ratio, 2 apps, 3,800. James, let's have a conversation, man. I mean, we talk about this every week where people have so many apps, but people have a lot of appointments, but they're not sitting down with anywhere near the appointments. So 14 appointments, 5 sits, 2 closes, 3 apps, 2,800. Steve P, good job, 20 appointments, half the ratio, 10 sits, 8 closes, 8 apps, 8,200. Andy G killing it. I remember this guy calling me like a month ago for advice. I'm like, dude, you're doing 30, 40 a month. Yeah, I want to do more. Like I should be calling you for advice. Andy G, 25 appointments, 15 sits, 10 closes, 10 apps, 9,600.
Hey, real quick, talk about the power of 15 sits. Like 15, I know you, my bad, 25 or 15, I just want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna attack his concern. Like your concern is how many appointments do you need in a week? I mean, these numbers are up here every week and you know, it's the same guys doing it every week. And then before you know it, newer people come in and then out of nowhere, you know, you start seeing different names. But to answer your question, some people need more help than others. What I mean by that is in this business, a lot of people say, I can't sell. How do you do that? How do you sit down with people? I can't do that. Dude, yes you can. Did you think you could?
I thought I could once I learned the product.
Because you got a machine on your back by the name of Steven that you created who's a lunatic. So,
And I have a sales background, but never in this industry, so
Right.
I'm a little nervous now.
yeah, but if you just continue doing what you're doing on a massive race,
Mhm.
you see what it does.
Yeah,
You live it every day.
yeah,
But going further, if you're doing 10 appointments a week and you're just starting out, you may not knock out 80% of those 10 people with applications. So you may need to do 25, 30 appointments in a week. And like Mark said, the more people you sit with, in time, that ratio is going to go from, 40% to 70, 80, maybe 90%. And then before you know it, you may not need 25, 30 appointments a week to hit Hall of Fame, maybe 20. But if you just have the mentality of 25, 30 appointments a week, you're not going to lose because you got Dick Campbell sitting right next to you. You got Mark Mead like 15 feet away from you. Lazaro Diaz, 10 appointments, 8 sits, 5 closes, 5 apps, 5,300. Is this Abalu?
Yeah. You know,
Abalu, 11 appointments, 7 sits, 2 closes, 2 apps, 1,500. Yeah, so, I mean, if you're doing those numbers on a weekly basis, 25, 20, 30 appointments, you're not going to lose. I want to talk about the conference for a second.
sure, but
I'm not hearing a lot of that. Like, there's not a lot of buzz. Like, I see, the advertisement, but it's definitely important to pick a location. Like, for me, it's going to be Orlando. My kids are 12 and 17. They've never been on a plane. They've never been to Disney. So it's Disney the first part of the week, and then it's the conference the end of the week. But it is important to get there for so many reasons. I mean, there's so much knowledge in those conferences. You're going to learn a lot. And the $1,500, $2,000 that you're spending, you're gonna make it back that Monday, Tuesday when you get back. So if you guys didn't book your reservation, if you didn't book it, do so. It's only gonna help you. It really is. Did I answer your question about the appointments?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, I gotta invite you up here, man. Come on up. I mean, again, if you could just talk about your motivation going into 2020. I mean, every time I went to Ben Salem, every time I went to that office, you were there. So I know being in the office is important, like I preach every week. I mean, how did you do it? Any nuggets you could share?
I think it's your ability to. It's like, what do you want in life? Like, I just wanted to win. Like, I heard, I was in, was it Chicago we went to? Indianapolis. And I heard I was trying to figure out what Steve's story was. Like, what's the deal? And like the what you told me about, him trying to accomplish things in life. I mean, that just hit home. So it was just, to me, I just wanted to win and I wanted to win real big. So it was like, my whole deal is just like, this is the most, this is how we make the money. This is how we win in this model. It's how long are we willing to stay on this? And I keep saying it, it's like, how long are you willing to stay on this to get what you want? Like, my stuff was going to get repossessed, like my cars, everything was going to go. So I was in a position where fear of loss, it just makes people move right away. So my whole deal is like, if I could, like, when I looked at everyone, it's like they're doing, like, this industry is like crazy, like doing 30 grand a month, doing 15 grand, 10 grand, everyone's doing it. So like our growth, like my growth isn't that impressive. Like the company's growth is impressive. Like everyone's just doing it because it's duplicatable, it's easy, and it's just persistency. Between a rock and water, the stream will win because it's hitting the rock. Mm-hmm. And that's how the Grand Canyon happened. Like there's just water, and it's just pressure over time, and then it just pops. So like I work with people who filled out applications 5 years ago that don't know why I'm calling. But at the end of the conversation, 30 seconds later, we have an appointment and I'm there. Like it's just activity. I don't answer a lot of questions because the person who's answering the questions is in control. Person who's not asking the questions is not. And I'm just trying to be in control of the conversation the whole time and throughout the process. James, the 14 and 5, here it's his sits is something he's saying on the phone because his appointments are there. It's just his sits, and when he gets there, so it's just something that he's saying on the phone. So a typical dial day, like it should start at 7:00. You start at 7 and 9, you book majority. Like I booked 16 to 30 appointments between 7 and 9 that I've had all day, even from 5 to 9, and that used to be my favorite time to book, between 5 and 9. So it's like,
you're talking PM?
Yeah, my favorite time used to be 5 to 9 because everyone used to answer. Now it's from 7 to 9 because they're just AM.
Got it.
So now they're up, they're just getting ready for work. I'm not dealing with a lot of confrontation. I'm dealing with a lot of, morning, okay, I'll see it too. And let's be very clear, I'm not asking. I'm just telling them what I'm doing.
Right.
It's very simple. Brittany, this is Nicholas. I'm the underwriter for the mortgage insurance for your property loan. There's an underwriting questionnaire that I have to run through with you tomorrow for about 10, 15 minutes. Didn't know if I could do it in the morning, afternoon, or evening. And then as soon as she says the time on the morning, okay, I'm going to see you between 9:30 and 10:30 on and off phone. I'm not, what happens when you give all the information at one time is they don't need you anymore. So what do people do when they don't need you? So I just what are you talking about? Okay, let's go backwards. When you did your loan, you had sent back the forms for insurance. So if you get diagnosed with something, it pays the loan off. My job is just to make sure medically qualify. I need to do that on Tuesday. Can I do it in the morning, afternoon, or evening? And it's always back into like a pattern interrupt throws your brain off to what so if you're thinking like, what is this about? And I hit you at morning, afternoon, or evening, you're not thinking about what is this about. You're just like, morning. So it's just like little things that you're saying. So if you could just remember underwriter, medical portion, form, you'll book the appointment, you got it lit. So I don't know, have we all been on the phone in this? What kind of common objections are we dealing with? What do we see?
I just filled this out.
So, okay, Mrs. Giordano, you know what? I got it. And until you see the form, it's not going to jog your memory. What I need to do is I need to go over the medical part for about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to have my staff send out the form to you. I'm assuming it's your cell phone. I'll have it text out. So you have an understanding on what I'm talking about, but morning, afternoon, or evening. So once they say, oh, I'm going to get the form, then they're off of that, what they're thinking, and then they're on to, just makes it a lot easier transitioning into your appointments. What else? Is there anything?
Oh, I already filled it. I already got that covered.
Got it. So I do need to clear this out of our systems and to properly clear this out of my system. I got to dot some I's, cross some T's. I do need a release form Tuesday morning, afternoon, or evening. So I'm right back. So I'm using, and I may or may not use that, but I'm using their objection as the reason why I need to come over. You already got that taken care of. Got it. I just need to dot some I's, cross some T's, because a lot of our agents weren't properly trained. You filled out the form to pay the loan off if you died or got diagnosed, right? You said you got it, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Tuesday at 5:30, I'm just going to verify 2 minutes. I'm in and out. We're clearing this up. Got it?
What's the point? Why do you want to get in a home so bad?
Because again, if I give you everything I need, you don't need me.
But if they said they already had it taken care of, why do you still want to get out there?
Because I care that they got what they got for the right reason. Like, I truly care that they that they have insurance in place to cover their mortgage, whether it's mortgage payment protection, whether it's to pay the whole mortgage off. I just don't want the policy to increase and they don't know about it. I just want to make them sure that what they got, they understood that, hey, from this agent, I'm good.
Right.
And I'm good. I could sleep knowing that I'm good.
People get crap policies all the time.
Right. Right. And that's half my business is just cleaning up what other people messed up. That's literally, and that's why I love 5-year-old lead, because they've already done something. You don't have to I'm not big on reinventing the wheel. Like we're 92% water, 94% water. Water takes the path of least resistance. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I want to work with the people who believe in insurance, because I have enough appointments that's who I only want to work with. But be very clear. Dominique Rogers says that the ability to move the percentage of people is where we're going to be very successful, from moving from no to now we're taking an application. And that in 2021 is what I'm working on as a secondary to building a team, because it's, again, and everyone says it's not about us. Like, this whole deal isn't about us. It's much bigger. But it's just, making sure that you understand that they care. And if you portray that, you got to be that.
How much are 5-year-old leads?
$9, $3.
So less expensive.
Yeah, so I'm probably spending about $700 a week on leads. And then, but I be very, if I don't have enough, I'll go buy more. It's 150, 90 to 150 will get you 16 appointments, easy, no problem. And you want the leads, and we keep saying that you want the inventory. Like, what happens if you went to a store and they did that dry? Don't you hate when you go to a store to get something and they don't have your size in stock? We have to have the leads in stock. That's the most important thing. That's a trick to this.
All right, I do have a quick question. With all these changes in COVID and now the accessibility of having virtual meetings, have you noticed that people are more prone to taking on a virtual meeting? Is it a pushback at all with them not wanting you inside the home or near an office or whatever you do?
I think it's how you move through your script and how you move through your process that allows it. If you don't make it a big deal, they're not gonna make it a big deal. I do get that. As far as, we're not letting anybody in. Okay, you have a porch and a patio, we'll do it there. And then when I get there, they're fine, I can come in. They're not worried about that. It's just, people just throw you off just to see what you're gonna do, how you're gonna react to it. You're going out there to protect them. They wanna know if you're tough enough to, handle an objection or two. That's what I think.
So to that question, it's like, we also like, everyone has a home or they live somewhere, right? So how often in homes do things not go right? Water heater busts, cable goes out, leak in the roof, ants coming through the side of the house. Those same people are calling vendors to handle those things. Does that make sense? We can't look at ourselves more than a vendor. That's all we are. I'm just Verizon Files. That's it. That's it. That's the only conceptualization outside of the fact that we're helping them with something that no one else is doing. But at face value, dude, I'm just trying to get in the house like the Verizon guy. Who you'll let in, lickety split. You know why he gets in? Why does Verizon Files get in?
Everybody wants your kid.
Everybody wants cable. Everyone wants internet. So what is the prerequisite in this environment for Verizon Files to get in the house? What's the prereq?
It's a mess.
A mask. Show up with your mask, guess what? We get in the house. Does that make sense? So I don't want to overcomplicate something simple, right? Because again, I love what Sean says with, Target and the mall, and it's just people on top of people and no one seems to care. The truth is the people don't. They care, but they don't. The reality is, because if their pipes go out, guess who they're calling? The plumber. Guess who's coming inside? The plumber. Guess who's coming inside with? A mask. If he comes to the door with a mask, he's probably not getting in. Fair enough? But if he has one, he's in. So we're no different. Now, if you got to do it outside, we've done that. We've done it from the car, but that was when it was really early in the process. The information's out, man. The information's out. You got to mask your good. And that's really what you'll see is people are more than comfortable letting someone in to do their job, which is called in-home service. That's what we do. We're an in-home vendor. As long as here's the prereq. Outside of that, we're good. You follow? Maybe I take off my shoes. I had a guy delivering food in my house. He had to bring it in the kitchen. It was snow outside. Of course, he walked through and I had to. You know what I'm saying? But they had on a mask. You know what I'm saying? So does that make sense?
Cable has those,
The little booties, right? The
Yeah.
cable guys, they're learning to care. But when I got cable in my house, they didn't care. I'll tell you that. They was just walking through. But yeah. Anyone else have any questions for Nick in home? He sees a
I'm
lot
not
of
the guy. I'm not the guy for the in-home.
He sees a lot of families. He helps a lot of people. He's a Hall of Fame producer, $400,000 in a year, and good stuff.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so thank you guys. All right, so what I want to kind of get into is starting the year off strong, 2021. Starting the year off strong. Right. Why don't we go through some goals here? What are some people's goals here? What do you want to do? Real talk. You've had time in December to think about it. You've had this weekend. If it's January 4th, you have no idea what you want to do. Don't raise your hand, but what do people want to do? Give me some goals, some hairy goals.
I want to pay off my fiance not debt.
Okay, pay off debt. What else?
I want to be a Hall of Fame producer.
Hall of Fame producer.
I'm going.
Love it. What else?
I want to purchase 3 rental properties this year.
This year. Okay.
I would like to help 6 people get to VP this year.
Say that. Well, I was gonna say 5. I got 5.
increase savings.
Increase savings. Okay,
Master a recruiting system.
I'd also like to help our team put in 3 offices this year, Mark. However way in which I can.
anybody else? No goals?
Yeah, yes, sir. Well, my goal is really, I guess, realistic to help get 200 licensed agents.
Licensed agents?
Yeah.
Selling? Okay, so there's a big difference. Licensed, contracted, and selling. So are we saying selling or licensed?
Selling.
Selling.
Selling, yeah.
Sell. Let's say it together. Sell.
Selling.
Because a licensed agent doesn't mean anything if they're not selling.
That's true.
Does this make sense?
It's just a body count.
And by the way, if you don't change that verbiage, you'll hit that goal and be dumbfounded at the result and why it's not where you want it to be. But we have to clarify. Make sense? 200 selling agents. I can go even further. You want that in a month? You want that over a certain period of time? You follow? Because it's not all the same. It's not all the same. If you look at leaderboards, the first week of the month comes out. Someone has X amount of agents. The second week they have more agents. Total month. Third week they have more agents. Why? Because every single month new agents are popping in. Agents that have been laying around and they're part-time, they pop in. People that didn't sell the first week pop in the second week. So it's like that's all now accruing in a month though. So 200 selling agents could be 40 agents in a month. If 160 drop out. So we see how fine it can get? It can get really fine, and that's how you get places. Fine goals. Make sense? So you want to clarify this? I'll do whatever you want. You just tell me what you want to be.
I mean, I guess the way I envision it, I guess overall, I don't know, I guess it's hard to see. I guess on the leaderboards, like.
How many agents do you have selling a month now?
Close to 10.
10, okay. So what you're saying, so this is why it's 200 licensed, because like, damn, if I could just, we can get 200 licensed. We own something now. Why don't we do this? We'll do 100 licensed, 100 agents selling in a month. Fair enough? That's probably your 200 agents. Okay? 100 in a month selling.
In what amount of time?
That's fine, we'll get there. It's definitely a process. Anyone else? Goals? Hashtag goals. Okay. Let's start with this. If people come up with stuff, we'll go from there. Payoff debt. Do you mind me asking how much debt it is?
So altogether, I've got about 60.
60.
My fiance has about 150.
Really? Okay, so 210. That's a significant amount.
Is that school debt for her?
For her, a lot of it is through that.
What does she do?
Well, she just moved in with me. I live upstate, so.
Okay.
Just had my baby, so.
Congrats. Give 'em a clap.
Yeah, so right now, she's, stay at home mom, but I don't want her to do.
Okay, cool. So it's on you.
Yeah.
Daddy up.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. So what does this mean to you? What are you willing to, what price do you want to pay for that? This is how it works.
For me, I know it's gonna take a lot of sacrifice. I'm big on family, so I like to spend a lot of time with my son. So that's gonna.
How old is your son?
6 months.
6 months, okay.
6 months. So that's gonna take a lot of sacrificing, put appointments on the books, to bring that income to be able to focus on that.
This is where the rubber hits the road, folks. This is where it all happens. And this is real life. You learn how to deal with agents, this is real life, right? Big on family, just have a newborn baby, let's spend time with the son, fiance not married, when y'all get married?
June 5th.
June 5th, next year, so big time, this year. It's the 4th of the month, man, 4th of the year. big and 26 years old? Crazy time in life. Like this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're setting off the course. The boat's leaving the dock. We want to set sail on the ocean. And we want to see the sights. But we need gas in the boat. We need food in the boat. We need supplies in the boat, or we're going to die before we get to the destination. This makes sense? Now, there's going to be a price to pay to get out of debt in 210. When do you want to get out of debt?
It's a lot. 210 is a lot. So we've spoken about it. 2.5 years.
2.5 years, fair enough. You also want to purchase 3 rental properties.
Yes, sir.
Why do you want to purchase 3 rental properties?
That's my bread and butter. So I currently have 7 doors. So just want to add to that portfolio.
Okay, you're doing that now.
Yes, sir.
Is it paying you money?
I live for free. So
Okay, cool.
I'm able to pay off. My expenses, personal expenses, are real low
Okay.
because of that. So that's helped a lot.
Why insurance?
My insurance,
Yes, sir.
it's lucrative. It's lucrative.
Mhm.
And I can talk to people. Or I have that blood, I'm a grinder. I wholesale as well, real estate. So it's, he introduced me to it. So
Okay.
he showed me the numbers. It makes sense.
Okay.
It's work.
So I'd be willing to say, and you do whatever you want, but what I would say is I don't know what the minimum payments on these are. What's the total minimum payments a month on these?
Total minimum, we haven't, so the plan is to consolidate all that.
Okay, just before you do that, you know what the minimum payments are.
So all in total, off the top of my head, it's probably maybe about 2,500, 3,000.
Okay. I mean, that's a sizable nut. I mean, that's a mortgage. And this hurts. Like, I'm just being honest. I live this life, like, for real. So this is a lot of money a month. Now, the cool thing is insurance. What does the real estate pay you per month?
Per month, I cash flow after all expenses. I cash flow about 300. Not
Okay.
crazy.
So 7 doors is what? 3 families, 2 families?
I got 2, 3 families and
Two.
single.
2 or 3 families.
And I live in one of the units.
Okay. So you understand 3 properties. What are they worth?
There's one that's worth 175, 160, and one that's worth about 50,000.
So 400,000 all day. What do you owe on them?
400. Let's see. The one of them is almost halfway there. Well, now that works. So one of them, equity came.
What do you owe on this all day? Give me the whole number.
Let's say to about 200.
200 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need people to understand, because this may help you, may not. Okay. I need you to understand, like, you got 200 grand in total debt, right? Plus another 200 grand in debt. Okay. The thing that's going to obliterate both of these debts is insurance. Right? So here's how I would look at this. Because I did mortgages 10 years, 8 years before I did insurance. And I wanted to invest. I did invest in property, lost my share. Okay? You're obviously doing a way better job than I am. I mean, your property's actually paying you money. Mine were not. Okay? So you're making $300 a month. Now, I'm not saying this isn't a great route. Definitely not. Because real estate's made many millionaires over and over. Here's the deal. I can invest $1,000 in leads, Brittany, a week. And I can go out and I can write 10K in a week. So $1,000 makes me 7 G's flat in my bank account. Fair enough? I like that trade a lot. How much debt do I have to make this trade? No debt. 0 debt. Make sense? Now, 26, if I built a path for real estate, I like real estate. I would want to do something there. I've learned to compartmentalize where I'm at in life. This is significant. So you're 6-month-old. So is your soon-to-be nuptials. Fair enough? You're in insurance. I want to help you harness the power of it. Okay? Because this is what it looks like. $4 grand a month equals 28 G's deposited. Bang. Wife stays at home. I'm not saying I wouldn't even pay these off that quick. I would definitely not touch this. Does that make sense though? But I'm saying like, now you want to buy 3 more, that's where we going. Up more in debt. Now, it's different kind of debt, right? And you don't understand it. I'm not trying to diminish it. I'm gonna help you harness the power of insurance. But we're going, like, the real estate portfolio can definitely wait if you get this. You might not get it today, but you should understand what room you're sitting in. Does that make sense? This can go, this can grow, this can grow eventually, right? But the amount of capital that has to come out of this to buy more properties doesn't allow this to get paid off, and it's not paying your bills. This is paying your bills. Make sense? So I'm looking at 2021, and I'm 210, and I've been here. So if I'm 200 something in debt, and I want to do real estate, which I did, and I realized the power of insurance said, buy real estate, goodbye, bye. Why? It's costing me X amount of dollars every time I get in a property. I don't care if the property's 100 grand. I got to pay $25,000 to get in the property at a 75% loan to value. 25 G's. If I take 25 G's and put it into this, and I'm telling you this because there's a cost of diminishing returns on how much you can sell it. Might be 15, might be 20. But this will go up in proportion 10x, right? But then I want to build a business from there. So recruiting, leads, there's so many things you can do there's no return like insurance. I've never seen a return like this ever in my life. 0, never, ever. My man is like, he's jigging, like it's real. And you'll ask questions when you leave here, but you can realize all your goals, right? This is great. You have $200,000 in equity, so that's $200,000 you have. I'd keep that, continue to pay these off. That will equal 400. Maybe this will go up 500. Great, dude. This is the horse. Make sense? This is the horse. This is the horse that needs to get ridden till you have no idea what to do. And the good news is we'll guide you. Path, step by step by step by step by step. We will guide you through this process. So you will not be confused. But dude, I would not spend another ounce thinking about this. But it's hard because it's your DNA. Make sense? Yeah. It's going to be difficult, but you have to start seeing these returns. The only way to do that is work. Have you talked to your fiance about this new role? I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You talk to her about, because your son, you can't talk to him. He's 6 months.
Yeah, I thought that.
I mean, and this is the thing. I was 150 grand in debt with a son about to be born. This is 2013. And I was in insurance. I was at a 55% contract. And I had to pay my debt, and I had to I had to do what I had to do. And me and my wife had to have, this is important. This is what I'm saying. Like, this communication is massive. Okay? Because she sees a 6-month-old too. Just like you do. She's like, man, you're not going to be a part of his life, which is nonsense. By the way, guilt is what it is. My sons, they're good at it, dude. Your family's good at guilt tripping. I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I'm not going to beat the guilt. What I'm going to do is create systems to minimalize it, and then I'm going to outwork it so that they forgot the day they ever guilt. I promise you, I can tell you stories about people. We always knew you do it. We knew it. We knew you would do it. And we knew it. But when I was starting, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Real job.
Yeah, go to work. You'll hustle all the time. And it's not about them. Because really, dude, that period of time that they're guilt tripping you, it's because you're not making it happen. You knock 50 grand down in your second month. That's cool. What do you need? How much time you need? Makes sense. Like, this is how it works. You know what I mean? I remember telling my wife, because we struggled at the last company. And I was like, I just started getting my swag, and then I left and started here. And I was like, all right, well, let me just be straight up with you. Like, money was coming in, but you ain't never seen it rain. I'm about to show you how to make it rain. And I was dead serious, because I knew how to do it at that point. I sold enough at the old deal. I knew how to do it. It wasn't at the right contract. I didn't have the right amount of agents, but I knew what we were dealing with. I was like, it's about to be a bloodbath. And I knew I was going to have to work. hard. But dude, I knew it was also gonna be a period of time where it wasn't gonna be like that forever.
What
And
specifically was it that made you get it?
you mean the insurance business?
Yeah.
I've always understood the power of building a team. 100% understood that. The part that always got me in my multi-level career was the fact that I couldn't sell anything. The only thing I do is build a team. So if you don't buy juice, I lose. If you don't buy cleaning products, we all lose. If we can't, if you don't, that was the part that always got me. When you stack the deck and said, all right, Mark, out of 110, if you sell life insurance, you make money for your family. I was like, and I can still build the team? Wrap. That was the only part that, once I understood that, it was a wrap. Wrap. Because building a team, that was not, I was tired of doing it because it wasn't paying me anything. But I was a good recruiter. I just couldn't get paid. I can get you the water. You wouldn't drink it long enough. We need to drink it long enough to get paid together. You was always out before we could drink. We didn't get to break bread. So when they told me I could sell, pay my bills, and still recruit, it was over. Because I knew I would recruit. It was just, I didn't have to worry whether you sold or not. You didn't have to be at the fountain long. I was making money. And I knew if I made money, you'd stay longer at the fountain. It was a reverse engineering. Does that make sense? So, but that's all here for you, bro. Minus the real estate. Or minus time with your son. You got to figure out what you want to sacrifice. Real estate and your son, that's a lot. Trying to build this. Your son, you're going to sacrifice time there regardless. But you could probably make it up. You can definitely make it up somewhere. I can teach you how to do that. But there's gonna be some sacrifice. Once you get that, bro, it's over for you. Okay? Hall of Fame producer. Who said they want to be a Hall of Fame producer? My man. Do you understand the amount of appointments you need to run? Did you get that here today?
So I was told 33,000 a month. So
Correct.
Appointments, that's probably
30 times 4, 120 times 12 is what? What's 120 times 12? That's how many appointments you need.
well 120 a month.
120 appointments a month. Okay? And that's the drop dead. Like, here's what happens out of 120 appointments a month. You may start issuing 20,000 because you don't know what you're doing. But you're never going to be broke. And then you may go to 30,000. You're starting 120 appointments a month. You start issuing 50, 60, 70, 80,000 a month. It is what it is. You can't get in front of 60 people a month and not make bread. And if you're doing 30 appointments, you're probably getting in front of 20 families a week. That's 80 families a month you sat down with. And not all want to buy, whatever. It's just no way to screw that up. There's just no way to be that consistent and screw it up. And the consistency is not in the sales. It's in the work. It's in the dials, bro. Does that make sense? Like, we go to get up at bat. No one ever said they're going to hit every pitcher every time they get up at bat. The work is in the batting practice. It's not in the games. It's not in me going 4 for 4. That's a byproduct of batting practice. 0 for 4 is a byproduct of batting practice. Fair enough. What questions do you have about Hall of Fame?
So he said something that stood out to me. He said, like, Dominic Rogers is about increasing the ratio. So you may sit with 10, I may sit with 10, but you may close 5, I may close 7. So just being able to close, running the numbers, but increasing my closing ratio. I have experience, but I feel like this experience, I need to experience more of this than my numbers.
100%. That's it, dude. I mean, it doesn't matter what you shoot in January. It only matters that you catch a swag at some point. The earlier the better. You know what I'm saying? And I would definitely get down to annual convention. 100%. What city are you?
That's this month.
February 4th through the 6th.
Oh,
Yeah. Figure out what city you're going to go to. There's 7 cities, and they all have counts on how much they can handle based on where we are in society. So register for convention, get your rooms booked, and get down to the
Now,
city.
would you recommend they bring their wives if they can come?
I would.
Yeah.
I would, because your spouse is going to be your number one supporter / roadblock. There'll be days where they're your supporter, days where they're your roadblock. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I mean, and it's human beings. They're not male or female. If you're a female running this business, same thing. I bring my husband. If you're a male running this business, I bring my wife. They have to understand why you're sacrificing. They have to understand what's actually available to your family. And you have to do a really good job of communicating this over and 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 over again. It's like saying I love you. You don't get married on the first day, say I love you, and it's a wrap. It doesn't work. You have to say it over and 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 over. Because this is the way it works. 3 weeks of no, I love you, they think that it's over. It's about damn over. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. But everybody we studied the 5 love languages, but everyone has a love language. And if you go 3 weeks, 4 weeks without speaking someone's love language that you're married to, good luck. Like it doesn't make any sense. You know. So if you don't know what that means, there's a book called 5 Love Languages. I'd probably get it. Recommend you read it. If you're married, especially if you're married, or if you're in a relationship, but it teaches you a lot about yourself. Really does. 400,000 a year, bro. I know you can do it. You just have to set your path. And one thing I would say is 400,000 is great. It does wonders for you. You want other people on your team doing this too, because this truly sets you free. Like it really is the beginning of being set free. The freest part of this is knowing you can do it anytime you want. That means you'll never be broke again. That's what this means. That you've mastered the insurance business to a point where it's like riding a bike. You'll never be broke again. And that's a powerful statement in life, because we all came from being broke, most likely. This is some trust fund babies in here, let me know. But I mean, makes sense. All right, help 6 VPs. That's you, Brittany. Okay, what do we want to do? What questions do you have about this?
I guess all right, so one of the things that I posted in one of our group chats this morning was that Daryl had one of his guys. You haven't had anybody recruiting. Daryl hasn't yet. So Daryl, right? Okay, so Daryl helped somebody get into the business, got him trained, he's doing pretty well. He hired his first guy today. So it's like, how do you get your downline?
Your first agent today? One of your guys.
One of his guys.
All right, their first agent today.
Who was like completely removed, but like he's really in it now.
Okay.
But like, so I guess the translation of getting those layers and layers to hire, so it multiplies. So getting more of that going on, right? Because like can only be me so much.
Yeah,
like,
correct. I think it's like selling though, honestly. You're right. You want to get your team to join in on the fun. But I think you leading from the front is important.
100%.
So that means that the number of people that you're hiring contracting every week is so exemplary, they have no choice. The other thing that's really that has blown the doors off this business is social media. I mean, everyone has a social media, everyone's on every platform. If you're not marketing yourself on social media, you're not going to build a team. I'm sorry. That makes no kind of sense. I mean, the amount of warm market people that I have in my organization is silly. I mean, because they know me, I knew them from somewhere, I recruited them from somewhere, they're my friends, I mean, it's crazy. But it's one of the biggest assets to this business. And then it perpetuates cold market recruiting. Warm market is this. It's the numbers in your phone, it's your DMs, your instant messages, it's posting on your feed, it's telling stories, and then people just start coming out of the woodworks, asking you what you're doing, how you're doing it, and can they be a part of it. So I would highly recommend that this happens, Britt, at scaling your group, if it's not already. And then, as great as this is, adding a cold market component to this is massive. Warm market, cold market will never get moving like warm market. But you never know what a cold market person's willing to do. And everything works a little bit. If you don't have a resume stream or some stream coming from somewhere, whether it's a social media ad, Indeed, Zip, you don't have this, you're missing out on other candidates. But you would never get to because you don't have this.
I was actually hired from a resume source.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, Glad we found, you know what I'm saying? Glad we found you. You follow? Online or wherever you were at. So everything works a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Everything works a little bit. So I think in order to get 6 VPs, there's going to be a level of empowerment, but it's also going to be systems at scale where a lot of people are being hired, a lot of people are getting started, a lot of people are getting leads, a lot of people are getting on the phones, and a lot of people are recruiting. But it's not as deep as it sounds. You know what I'm saying? Because from, how many VPs do you have now?
None.
Okay. So from 0 to 6 is really finding the right people to empower.
Right.
That are doing what you're doing. We're doing what's being modeled across the country, the family first life country. Does that make sense? So, all right, increase savings. Laura, I mean, like, I think you got it. Like, you sell, you have expenses on what you sell. You got to figure out what your needs are for your home, and then we siphon the rest out. How much you're going to use for your recruiting budget? How much you're going to use for your? But yeah, the more money that's coming in, the more that can get siphoned out into savings. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what the goal is. So, how many appointments do you want to work a week? What's your appointment count goal?
Like my schedule, I think we spoke about, it's gonna be a little different because I'm gonna be doing some recruiting.
Sure. How many appointments do you think on average a week?
Maybe 12,
12?
maybe a little more. I don't know, what could I do?
What do we say? 2 days or 3 days?
In 2 days, possibly 3,
Okay,
depending if I'm gonna
depending.
do anything in New
Okay.
York. Like,
Yeah, I would say 14 to 16 appointments a week. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah,
Would that be 6 or just have them out there? and
Appointments.
then-
yeah, the sits will come from those appointments.
Mhm.
But that's a part-time schedule based on what your needs are, okay? And based on the fact that you're a sales machine, it's proven. But I'm saying, like, I would, so,
Because I'm gonna do some recruiting. to
Remember that.
build the agency.
correct, that's 60 appointments a month, you know? That's pretty good, depending on what your needs are, which we talked about. I think that works for you, and you'll be able to save, okay? But it's about selling, master recruiting system. Okay, this is important.
So I need like a recruiting stream, I need scheduling, I need what I'm doing Monday through Friday, what I'm doing every 15 minutes, scripting, onboarding, agent packing, contracting, like I need it all. I just want to copy somebody's.
Mhm.
And then,
There's enough out there to copy, so that's cool. And none of that, as fast as he's talking, it's not as bad as some like, oh, that's crazy. It's just not that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can be handled with a staff person or two, a couple optimization systems for online, right? All stuff we know how to do. You follow? But it's the commitment to it. Yeah? It's being committed to it. Talk about what Focus On expands. You hit Hall of Fame. Why? You wanted to. Facts.
I want to recruit.
Okay. So then we have to create a system around your want and what you're willing to spend. That's the beauty of it. What are you willing to invest, Alex? Makes sense? And with that, good news is you're making money, so we can allocate a portion to it. And dude, it's not perfect. I think that's the other piece. It's like, I want to invest money and I want this return. Dude, it doesn't work that way. Like, sometimes you have to fire someone and hire someone new. Like, I hired a recruiter and it didn't work. I'm like, yeah, dude, and we've hired like 60 of them. Okay, dude, I'm gonna make it work. Let's fire someone and hire someone new. Hire slow, fire fast. Okay? But dude, I'd hire a recruiter. You know what I'm saying?
Where I keep going back to the where part.
It comes down to eventually what you want to spend on a recruiter and what do we want to give them for ads. The other thing is, if people want to hire a recruiter and they're not spending any money on ads, what are they going to call? Make sense? If you want a volume recruiting system, you know? There's different levels to this, okay? We have volume recruiting, we have headhunting. You got to figure out what you want, what you need. But I would recommend volume recruiting if you're getting started. So resumes that are coming in from a platform you have ads out on, whether it's Facebook, Indeed, Zip, whatever, and someone calling those. Make sense? That's what I would recommend to get started.
Who do you talk to for ads on Facebook?
I mean, you can do them yourself now. I mean, we can help you with them, or you can get a company that does them and try to scale it. You know, so I can help you with that. But I think at the end of the day, Facebook's a great resource. Great. I mean, social media is stupid because, dude, the quality, you're gonna have the highest quality is Walmart, second highest quality is social. They click everything they want to click until they like what they see. When they like, they engage. Once they engage, they're sold. They're not engaging out of curiosity, generally. They've done there's so many things to click now. By the time they engage, they're sold. Now, if we post a job on LinkedIn, I see how many people look at my profile, dude. They're sizing me up. They want to know if this is a great place to, what do they got going on? What's happening? And I see, I don't even know who they are. And then they engage. But nobody's engaging until they have an idea of what's happening. Generally. By the time they engage, they're about done. That's easy. So I like social ads. But you need to have a system for it. This is not deep. So when we talk about this, we're talking ads. Someone to call the ads, which is called a talent acquisition specialist. Okay, and then we need a contracting / onboarding funnel that's successful. Does that make sense? If we hire them, we have no idea where they are. We wasted a bunch of money. We spent money on ads. We hired them. We don't know where they are. Where'd they go? Poof, they're gone. Because we don't have a contracting and onboarding system that's successful. We obviously know what we're doing here. We can help. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tailored to you, what you're doing, and how much you want to invest in this. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be millions of dollars. It just needs to be enough for it to sustain itself, for you to check in on it. Does that make sense? Okay. 3 offices. We know the deal there. It's about the same, goes back to 6 VPs and 100 selling agents a month. Okay. So the scale on that, I mean, you have to start backtracking 100 agents selling. So figure out of if it's off of ads, figure 15% of the people are gonna be on your team. So if you hire 100, 15 people will be there off of ads. People you don't know. War market figures 50% higher. Okay. Every 100 people that you hire will be on your team. How many hundreds of people do you need to hire to get to 100 people selling? What's the math?
So you said it again, sorry.
Every 100 people, 15 will stick. Okay? So how many 15s do you need to get to 100?
Hundreds of people.
7 15s.
We will all have
That's 700. That's 700 people. 700 people, okay? That you need to hire through your system. That again has a successful talent act person and a contracting and onboarding system. These numbers could be way worse if this sucks. You're not good at this. But you need to get to 700 hires. The question I would ask is how fast do you want to get to 700 hires? How long do you want to take to do this? That's on you. You can say 7 months. That's 100 agents a month.
So all the agents I have now are from Warren Market. I mean, these
Which
two
is
I
great.
have those from Warren Market, but I had a recruiter and I fired her. She tried to get off on me with the hours. She wasn't even working.
Happens.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna get another one.
Yep.
And still hire.
How long ago did you fire her?
It was back in October.
See what I'm saying? It's already January. I want to have a big year. 100 agents, baby. And do you fire a recruiter? You're scarred for life. She stole money from me. You stand still for 5 months before we hire another one. Dude, this is the way it works, bro. This is the way business works. You won't be the first person that a recruiter stole from, hours-wise. We have a super sharp staff. You know how long it took to get here? 7 years. I'm sorry. and integrity helped. Like, what do you want me to do, bro? We've got to go through the numbers. If they're great, pay them. That's how you get retention. If they are not, fire them. Always should be a building track. Build, build, build. They don't get it. Build, build, build. Fire. What are we doing? Does that make sense? You have a business to run. You have to run a business. You're not getting to this paying people that aren't performing. And then you're not getting into this firing people and not replacing them right away. We fire, we place an ad immediately. Because it's not that it's less a need. You didn't fire her and not need a recruiter. You were scarred for life and wasn't going to hire a recruiter for the next 20 years. Man, does this make sense? It's ludicrous.
That's how I was gonna do it myself.
Yeah, I'll do it myself. Why'd you hire her in the first place? I'll do it myself. That's a way to build a scale of business. That's how we got all these banners, by ourselves. Are you kidding me? I want all of them to have 3 recruiters. The banners. And it takes time to teach people to fire, replace. Hire. It takes time to get people to hire. Forget all firing. That was the worst. You're going to hire them and not give them any ads? Because the budget you're hiring at, they don't have the discipline to head on. It's okay, dude, but if you don't give them work to do, they're not doing it. And it's okay, we know the numbers, but you have to understand this. This is where the mentorship really should come into place. This is where all the money should be at as far as you building your business and you talking to people that are where you want to be. You should not be sitting with these questions for very long. You should ask them. Because otherwise, you're just wasting time. Why are you trying to figure this out on your own when it's already figured out by plenty of people? Ask. You ask anyone who's been through that, they'd be like, dude, it's January. What, you fired in October? What are you doing? But dude, if you didn't come here today, you'd be another 3 months. And you might still be another 3 months. I don't know how far message penetrated, but does that make sense? I know. Everyone says that. We'll see. I'll know the next time I see you. If you have on another new suit, you didn't do it. The money went towards the suit. But no, I'm with you, man. I just think like we got to get with the gram. We're a little over time. I did want to take some time to go through some of this stuff. Does anyone have any questions on any stuff we talked about?
Well, I have a question. I was listening to one of the videos today on my way here, and they were talking about a platform that we have access to that works like advertising or something. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Platform for advertising?
Not so much advertising, but like, call it,
Do you know what you were listening to?
yeah.
Okay.
It's from the West Coast.
If you want to just listen to it again and you can ask me, I'll
Yeah,
because I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Does anybody have an idea?
it was something, I don't know if it was to do with Facebook, what did you call it?
Talking about STP?
Andrew Taylor?
No, she's
It
talking
wasn't
about
Andrew, it wasn't Andrew.
You're talking about
Paul
Paul McLean.
McLean.
And what was he saying?
And he was talking about fast start, so he was going through different things, you know, that we should be doing as new agents.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying like, get your name out there, let everybody know
Yep.
what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that he said that, you know, you would have your photo and you would have different things on there.
It could be the
It
digital.
wasn't LinkedIn.
I don't know. I don't know how old the video is. One thing
The
about
Rogue IMO link,
That's what I
the
was
Rogue
thinking.
IMO link,
It might be that.
Oh, so there's a
for
link.
hiring.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then-
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Is that
You
something
have that,
we should
Brittany?
be doing?
You want to help out with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do it. Absolutely, it works.
and you're gonna start helping Steve recruit, right, Laura?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So, 100%. To automate. Listen, automation is great. You want to do as much automation as you possibly can so it makes humans' jobs easier. The idea you're going to automate a business, no humans working the automation, is not going to work. It's just a bunch of computers getting information and nobody calling the information, nobody working on the information. Makes sense? So I hope this helps, guys. Appreciate you. See you again next week. We're here every Monday at 1.